Hello, it's Dr. Karen. Welcome to this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest for the week of September 1st, 2025. And on our little holographic journey, we are talking about physical today. So I have noticed that even the most pacifist among us, sensitive souls, can sometimes be in the killing mode. What do I mean by that? Well, there are a couple of, let's just say, triggers that in society cause the average person to go into a state of panic or fear. Now, I'm not going to name them verbally, but you can read them on the screen, okay? All right, so let's talk about this one. There is some theories out there. You've probably heard of germ theory, right? Germ theory is that, and it's funny that it's called a theory. Louis Pasteur, I learned this in microbiology forever ago, before medical school, right? That germs cause disease. You know, if you put a germ and you put it in somebody, it'll cause disease. Except it doesn't. What do I mean by it doesn't? Well, if you put the germ in someone who is healthy, they don't get disease. But if you put the germ in someone who doesn't have clean water to drink or clean air or enough nutrition, yeah, they get disease. So did the germ cause the disease or something else? Maybe it's part of the issue. So our focus in our society is to kill the bad guys, right? To kill the germs, the bad germs, kill the bacteria, the fungus, the mold, the parasite, so on and so forth. And it's the same thing with this guy. So we have to kill the tumor cells. We have to get rid of it. And even if you're a German New Medicine fan, you're like, okay, let's go, little microbes. Let's eat up this tumor, right? Let's get it going. And so we have this sense of it is not us. And it's us against them. So it's the enemy. It's the outside force that's causing me to be sick. And, you know, it's this thing that I need to get rid of in my body because it's bad or it's overgrowing or it's out of control, right? So never in this conversation for most people, maybe it's not you, but for most people, never in the conversation is it sort of like, oh, well, is killing it really the number one thing we need to do? Most people would be like, yeah. What they're not focusing on is how do we get the terrain, this is called terrain theory, how do we get the terrain, the body, so healthy, but not just physically, but how do we get the terrain so healthy that the body thrives and not just survives, but thrives, and the need for the tumor or the germ or whatever is not there any longer. Most people are focused on the killing. It's just our society. So for those of us who are pacifists, it can be like a push-pull. It can feel like a little bit of cognitive dissonance, right? It's like you're good with love, joy, peace, and unicorns and rainbows until you have one of the C's and then you want to kill something. Never thinking that maybe it's part of us. And you're like, oh, but Dr. Karen, this is not part of us. Okay, I can sort of see how it may not be natural, maybe not be a natural part of our bodies, although it is for some people now. You could say, well, that's not me. It's like, well, true, in an individuated way. It isn't you. It's something maybe outside of you, or a toxin or a poison or whatever it is, weapon that can interfere with the natural you. I get that. And remember, if we fly out to the big scale, zoom out, it's all us. We are one, right? You're me, I'm you, you know, whatever. There's a Jim Carrey in here somewhere. Anyway. And this other one, it's easier to see, right? Because it grows within us. So maybe we can go, okay, well, that's a part of me. So just think about it. How would you feel if you were that part and the other part of you was trying to kick it out, kill it, bind it, remove it, dissolve it, and that was the whole attitude, or most of the attitude? It wouldn't feel very good, would it? Because, this little guy's like, I'm helping you out here. It could be like, I'm sequestering these toxins. Wow, you've got some unresolved grief. Okay, I'm here as the signal to go, hey, you got some unresolved grief, right? And so we're just like kicking and screaming at it and trying to kill it, where it's really just our body trying to help us out, trying to point us in the right direction. Or even sometimes it's actually a role that we have chosen to play, although we've forgotten it, that we will have this thing or experience this thing to grow us, to evolve us. And therefore, everyone that we touch in our, vicinity is also growing because of our experience. Yeah, so is killing necessary to heal? Is it a thing? Well, things grow and things die. There is a cycle to life. And I think in our society, we sometimes are over enamored with the, we're not going to age, we're never going to wrinkle, we're going to keep living forever, and we got to keep being young, 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 right? And whatever that is. And then we resist. That's a shadow, by the way. We resist anything that counters that. And, that is the seemingly pro-life perspective. And then there's the pro-death perspective, which is we got to kill anything that isn't good, right? So there's more light if we kill the dark. There's more health if we kill the thing that's seemingly causing ill health. So we've had this whole, I think, misunderstanding about healing and this needing to kill something. You know what? When things are ready to die, it's going to die. Certainly we can support the healthy journey of life, death, life, death, life, death cycle. And I'm not making anyone wrong for choosing something that kills something. It has saved lives where, someone's floridly, has this incredible, may I say, opportunistic infection. And yeah, they're probably going to die if they don't get their antibiotics and steroids or whatever they pump through them. And so they get another chance to then process what is underneath that. Possibly. So let me give you a real world example. So a figure skating friend of mine, quite a bit older at the time, was suffering or having symptoms from a type of cancer, which made it very difficult for her to eat. And she was already fairly slim, being a figure skater, and she couldn't eat, not very well. And she did eat very well, though, like all organic, no processed foods. I mean, ate better than I did. And had a lot of difficulty swallowing. And so when she came to me for help, she wanted me to figure out how I could kill this thing. Right. Now, I told her I wasn't this kind of doctor, first of all, and not a specialist in that area. However, I took one look at her when she came to me after, months of not seeing her. And she was so thin that, and so her skin had what we call lanugo. It's sort of like, kind of like hair, like very light hair, almost like anorexics sometimes get that. I think that's what it's called, lanugo. I could be wrong. Anyway, so it is just like white hairs, and they're just like all over her face. And I thought, oh boy, she's so malnourished. It takes a long time for the body to manifest the hair. Like I said, we see it in anorexics and end stage. So I said, look, I'm not a specialist at the killing part. However, I can tell you that the body will not heal unless it is nourished. I said, you need nourishment. You need food. Well, I can't eat food. Well, I get that. I get that you can't eat food, but there may be other forms of nourishment at this late stage. It could be TPN, and that's like where they give food through the IV. Not the best, but you could have maybe a tube in the belly. I mean, it sounded really invasive, right? But there are other ways to get past that, block. But no, her attitude was like, nope, I need someone who's going to kill this. And I was like, okay. So she did seek someone and flew across the ocean for this person who gave whatever medication, radiation, chemo, whatever it was. And I thought to myself, she is not strong enough to tolerate the toxicity of that medicine. Some people are, and it gives them some time, but then they have to detoxify. But you can't detoxify when you are that weak. And it's something I talk about in the holographic light body detoxification and rejuvenation program. There's way too many people, maybe not as sick as my friend, but there's way too many people thinking that the best thing they should do is take a bunch of herbs, wormwood, berberine, clove. These are really cool things, to kill parasites and this and that, but they're not strong enough to tolerate that. The die-off reaction, it takes energy, it takes chi, vital force. Your adrenals need to be strong. That's why I often will, when I had an office and clients and patients in the office, I would often measure energetically how happy and balanced were their adrenals before they would detox. So unfortunately, fortunately, it depends on how you look at it. Life is life, right? She did come back very weak and died shortly after that. So, she didn't believe me. She wanted to kill something. She needed that C gone. But she didn't understand that it would probably naturally go away on some level if she were strong enough. Her immune system, other systems, her adrenals were strong enough. And I knew just taking one look at her that she would not tolerate those kinds of medications and therapies, so-called therapies. But, it's sad, and at the same time, I honor her choice. That's what we got to do as healers, as loving, sensitive souls, is honor our loved ones' choice. So at the end of the day, I am not a proponent of killing, per se, with a focus on killing, but instead building or rebuilding the body. So today, let's do a TOLPAKAN Healing Activation on the willingness to shift our mindset around this topic of killing and rebuilding. As well, let's do a little quickie adrenal support TOLPAKAN activation as well. So if you'd like to join me, just make the internal yes, I'd like to receive. And then let's get into the still point together. Rub your hands really, really fast. And then relax, close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Focus on the inside of your body. Feel any movement, energy, waves, tingles, pulses, shifts in the body, and focus, feel, and then follow that flow of the energy wherever it goes without judgment. Continue focusing on the energy. I'll speak the TOLPAKAN Healing Directive, and your job is to see if there is a shift and notice what is happening in your body. So I now command that any residual thought forms, beliefs that are no longer supportive around us having to kill something in order to be healthy be deleted, dissolved, and uncreated from each individual and perhaps society, if allowed by source in the highest and best way, all directions of time, these being grace. I now command that anything preventing us from seeing, feeling, experiencing the rebuilding process of having our bodies and our minds, all parts of us, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, relational, being strong and sovereign, heal now with ease, speed, and grace. I now command that anything preventing the adrenal glands and the whole adrenal and endocrine, fight or flight, nervous systems from being 100% be healed and resolved with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way at all timelines where we exist. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So take a deep breath in and out just to anchor that in. Open your eyes when you're ready. And now command this healing be integrated with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way. For this and other blessings, I give my thanks and gratitude. So be it, and so it is. So I'd love your perspective on the killing aspects of healing. Perhaps you differ, and that's okay. And perhaps you're in agreement, and that's great and okay as well. Love to hear from you. And if you are not already part of the Light Medicine community, would love for you to be in there. We can continue the conversations without me having to hold up signs in that space. I'll put the link below. We'll see you next time. Much love. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you resonate with this message, please hit like and subscribe, and perhaps share it with someone who's like-minded, who you think might benefit. And in the meantime, I would love for you to connect with me in my private Light Medicine community. It's free to join, and it's for sensitive souls who desire to love and support each other. So I'll put the link below, as well as other exciting offerings for this week. Much love. Thanks for watching.